what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the PHNX Rising podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. My name is Ramon Chavez. I'm super happy to be here. And alongside me is Mr. Owain Evans and Mr. Edwin Morales. How are you guys doing today?
I took some precautions for training today. I got some sun cream, which is a good start normally, especially when it's a long presser with Rick. We were chatting for 20 minutes just with Rick today. So, yeah. It's a good long one for a rising like in-person one. That's long.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're getting that sunscreen, Owen. I know it's getting a little bit hot out there. Edwin, how are you?
good. Another Suns game. 2-2 the series. Things got interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe the fans can use this as a little therapy session before the game. Get a little calm. Talk about rising, relieve your stress, and then we'll focus on it. You can focus on the game and go to the pre-game show and all that.
Yeah,
I'm just happy that I was just gonna say I'm happy that we all went with Suns in 6, didn't we, boys? And we were all adamant from the start it was gonna be Suns in 6. Anything else you hear to the contrary is revisionist nonsense. So yeah,
I'm just saying that I called that the Pelicans were going to be a little bit tough, so it's going to throw that out there. Anyway, but yeah, hopefully the Suns are able to get a win tonight. And then once you guys are done here with the PHNX Rising show, make sure to hop over to the PHNX Suns one. They're going to have a good preview for you guys over there and the post game as well. All right, so yeah, I want to shout out everybody on the chat here. Reef the King, how you doing, sir? Michael, pleasure as always. Justin, how you doing, sir? Yeah, thank you so much for being on the chat. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening to us after the fact on one of the streaming sites, make sure to like us there, and then maybe give us a 5-star review if you can, and that way we can reach more people. So yeah, if you guys can help us out with that. We have a great show for you today. We'll be talking about of course our very own Phoenix Rising. They went 6-0 in April, so I think we're gonna touch a little bit on that. Some updates from today's press conference, a very long one that Owen said, and then of course we got some news yesterday about a new signing, so we'll be talking about I'm sorry if I butcher it the first few times, Sivert Haugli. How'd I do, Owen?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he told us it was today. So well done.
And, of course, we got a game this weekend, so Rising will be visiting the City of Angels, LA, to face off against LA Galaxy 2.
I think you'll find it's Carson. They're going to Carson.
Oh, so it's
tough.
I mean, I know that I'm personally, as far as I'm aware, not actually stepping foot in the city of Los Angeles. So,
yeah, so we'll see. I haven't been to Carson, so it's gonna be fun. Let's see. We're gonna also check out the rest of the USL action this week. There's some games tomorrow, right, Owen? So that's gonna get an early start.
Should be a couple of games, yeah.
Yep, and then we have a we're gonna have a guest. We're gonna have a guest on Thursday. So wait for that announcement tomorrow or in the upcoming days regarding our very special guest coming up on Thursday. So give you more information about that a little bit later on. All right, y'all. So
it's Sean. It's Sean. He's gotten rid of Edwin. He's getting rid of Edwin tomorrow, and then it'll be Sean.
Oh my God. Edwin. All right, guys, let's get started. Of course, we saw Rising defeat Miami FC 2-1 last Saturday. A very exciting game up to the final minutes. With that win, it marked a perfect April. Beat San Antonio at the beginning of the month, then Valley United in U.S. Open Cup play, LA Galaxy 2, back-to-back wins against New Mexico, and then Miami FC. So what do you guys make of the 6-0 record after kind of like a little bit of a stumble at the beginning of the season?
Well, it's almost like some teams come out and complain about fixture congestion, and other guys just come out and get it done. And Rising came out and got it done this past month. You look at it, admittedly, I think, and this is something we have to keep in context here, 5 of those games were all at home, and it was 5 in a row. There was only one trip, and that was at the very, very beginning of the month. So that makes things considerably easier when you're looking at that kind of spell of 6 games. But still, 6 games in a month is no small task, especially to come away with a 100% record. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we're going to see another long streak. Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I mean, yeah, you got to give credit. Sorry to cut you off, Ramon. I just want to go on the point. Is you got to give credit to Rising though, because they did that with some injuries. You know, they had some injuries. They had a a terrible start to the year. So it's impressive that they pulled out those 6 wins, and they haven't reached their peak. You know, that's the thing I keep reminding, because there's still a team that's regression. There's still teams that they clearly have their flaws, right? But still, they were able to get 6 wins. They're going on a cup run, and in a cup run that seems that they should. Again, nothing against Sacramento, because I think they're a great opponent. It's going to be hard on Rising, but they should be able to beat them in comparison to an MLS team. And you're back and situated in the league where you should be. Obviously, you want to be a little higher, but you're in a better situation. So credit to the boys.
Yeah, thank you for that, Edwin. Bobby here has a good comment. He says, maybe I'm still on a high from Saturday, but this team feels like the most complete roster Rick has put together. Owen, you've been covering Rising for a very long time. What do you make of this comment?
I think the thing about it, and I'm not so sure that it's the most complete team in terms of the roster, but this is something that Rick actually brought up today when he was asked about, what is it maybe that he's learned and doing differently himself, and on what would first year Rick have said to current Rick about what he was doing. And he said first year Rick would have come out and said, just be better. Don't bother changing the system. Be better. What Rick has said he's learned really over that time is that while you've got your philosophy, and your philosophy should stay the same, and the thinking process in that sense should stay the same behind your team, that you need to be able to adapt. And that's something I think that is really proven critical at times over this run, is a willingness to change the formation, a willingness to do those kind of things in a way that doesn't necessarily change who Rising are and their identity, but does give them an upper hand when they're coming up against other teams. And we spoke about this last week, right? When we were talking about New Mexico and the fact that he came out with those 3 central defenders, and how that changes things because it allows those fullbacks a little bit more freedom when they're going forward. They don't have to be quite as worried about tracking back and tracking back as quickly. And things like that have really helped. I think maybe that, to me, is the difference here. It's not necessarily the team itself. While the team is very good, it is more complete than in other years, but it's more the fact that you've had that kind of maturation almost of Rick as a coach, whereby now he's not just taking that team of players who realistically in a lot of ways should be USL superstars. He's using them in different ways to best, get the best out of them in any given game.
Edwin, feel free to hop on this one, but Owen, do you think this is the most versatile team that Rick has ever had, based on your comment there?
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not really sure it's versatile as in it's the team, because guys like Kev Lambert have always had the ability to play in that position. He's done it as a centre back with the Jamaican national team, and in the future we may see him do it again, especially with the kind of form that he's in at the moment. And of course, he made Team of the Week this week, so shout out to him. But I think it's just a willingness to actually adapt the game plan that's helping more than, yes, the players are versatile. Yes, there's depth in certain areas that maybe we haven't quite had in the same way before. Especially up top. Up top is a really intriguing one. The way that the centre forward and the wingers can kind of move around if they want. Really, there's. If you want to flip them around, you can flip them around. They're all quite versatile up there. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Edwin, what do you think?
For me, I think it kind of echoes a little bit what Owen's using. I think it is a versatile team, but I think it's versatile in the usage that Rick is using it, because it's working, and I think that a lot of these players are definitely all about this team. They're definitely a team mindset where whatever position you put me in, I will succeed for the best for the 3 points. So I think the attitude, is obviously one of the best we've seen. And honestly, I think Rick's usage has matured, and I think he's putting players in the right position. And if he's not, he's trying to figure that out, as the season goes on, because there's still a few people they're still figuring out a little bit. But I think it's a mix, but I don't think you can say it's the most versatile, and in my opinion.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of comments here about Sivert. So let's go ahead and we have a couple of videos of Rick and Sivert himself talking about how they see themselves fitting in and what type of player Sivert is.
He's a very, very good player. Very, very big and strong, good in the tackle, good in the air, but great feet. You know, I think he's going to be one to watch. I think when he was in college, he played as a holding midfielder, and he's kind of been moved back to center back, much like Kev. But he's got some very good offensive abilities as well. So we're excited to see how he does.
I mean, I'm a big guy, so I'm pretty decent in the air. I can still get better, especially offensively. I would like to score some more goals, but I'm good in the air, and then I would say I'm comfortable on the ball to be a big guy. So a little bit of both.
We finally got our big Scandinavian centre back. How long have we been talking about this guy and not knowing who he is?
For a while.
Now we know who he is. Finally,
great month.
Finally,
at the Rising Stadium. So yeah, some quick fun facts. I know maybe you guys have already read up on him, but he was born in Oslo, Norway. He is 6'5". His father played in the Norwegian top flight over there, and then his mother was a talented cross-country skier. This is all from his college profile, by the way. He attended Virginia Tech University for 4 years, 72 games, and he scored 3 of his 4 goals in his senior season. Third-round pick of the Portland Timbers, 83rd overall. Played mostly as a central midfielder, which is a key thing, and then also as a central defender. And then he also played with the USL League Two side, Des Moines Menace, and won the USL League Two championship. And I think Michael put it on the chat there. But quite a resume there, Owain and Edwin. So what do you make of Sivert here, and how do you think he's going to fit in with the team?
I think that as a player, he's someone who's coming in with a lot of potential. I mean, people are saying he's coming straight from League Two. Do we even expect him to start? And I mean, people are talking about wanting to see Channing Chasen get minutes. So why are we not talking about this guy who was drafted by an MLS team, and has, gone beyond, that in terms of winning League Two? Why aren't we talking about him as a serious candidate for this team? I think that he's a player who, if he's going to live up to his potential that he's coming in touted with, is going to be a very, very impressive player. The biggest question almost is, how good is he with his feet? Because we know this guy is a giant, right? We did Rick. Normally, Rick is one of the big guys when you're doing the interviews. In comes Sivert, and we've got to suddenly raise the tripods, get him up. This guy is big. And that's the thing. Often guys like that who are big, you kind of look at some of whom just come in, and it's because of their physicality and because of their height they're getting in the league. And everything we're hearing about him is that that's actually not all that he's about. He's got so much technical ability that's what his gameplay is about. I'm really intrigued to see that. Of course, it's been a while. We don't know if he's going to be available for this weekend's game. Still a little bit of a hold up there with the visa again, because apparently there's one last step to this concurrent visa, and they were told yesterday that it's going to be 3 to 8 days for him to get that sorted. Now, that's the problem, isn't it? Because if it's sorted in time for the weekend, we could see him playing possibly even on Sunday. If it's not, it's going to have to be at least until the game against San Antonio here in Arizona on the 7th.
Yeah, no, I got a chance to see some of his highlights on YouTube, and yeah, I think the thing that stood out from him was not only his height, but it was his ability on the ball. One of the things that I did notice was his ability to break down the defender one-on-ones, and then being able to carry the ball forward. Not a lot of goals in his senior career, but I don't think that's really his role, or that's really what he was looking for. But he did make that comment there today in that video you shot, Owain, that he was looking to score goals. So is he going to be more of a midfielder, or is he going to be more of a center back? Because, based on that comment, it's kind of indicates that he's going to be playing a little bit more midfielder.
No, to me, it means that he's 6'5" and he's got to get his ass up there for corners. Yeah. That's what it means to me, right? We've been talking about how much of a threat Manuel Madrid has been at times from those set pieces. This guy's 6'5". Get him up there and lump the ball onto his head,
Yeah.
Give it a go. Why not?
I see that, man, but I saw his highlights. I think he prefers playing with his feet, so I don't know. We'll see. Edwin, what are you thinking?
Well, for me, it's more broad questions in the sense of lineup and a lot of issues. What does this mean for James Musa's injury? And how long is that going to be? where do you play Lambert now? If you play him, if you play Sivert in defense, you're probably going to start Lambert in the midfield. So who do you take out from that, Seijas or Arturo? Because I'm assuming you keep Quinn in there regardless, because he's one of your main guys. So there's that issue, and then there's also, as Owain, put there, about why a lot of people, with the shading minutes, we want to see Sivert. Sievert's a lone player. Yeah, how much resource do you put into him? How much chances do you give him? Because I feel like there's going to be a shorter leash on him in the sense that if he's not working out, then you got to go back with your own boys and give them a chance, because they're going to be the long-term solution. Yeah.
But if he's not working out and you go, it's fine, go on the bench, how long do his team want him here? You don't send someone out on loan to sit their ass on a bench. You send them out on loan to get minutes on the pitch. That's why you do it. Because if you just sit him on the bench, he might as well. There's a nice bench up in Portland, I'm sure he could be sitting on.
Right.
Or sitting in the stand. They sent him here to play, to improve.
Yeah, but if he's not the answer right away, though, you sit him, because why are you just going to make the parent club happy if he's not working out, and you have people like Shanning and all these young guys who want opportunity off the bench, like you would rather appease your players that you have for a long-term contract than a parent club and a player whom you'll see for only a season and he's gone.
But that's not necessarily true, because that's also a factor when you think about loan deals. You've got to be seen to actually be playing the game, because if you aren't seen to be playing the game, you can jeopardize your chance to get loan deals in the future, which can be really impactful deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to Owen's point, so if you guys haven't read Owen's article on gophnx.com, he makes a great point there that this deal kind of materialized due to Rick Shantz's connection with the Portland staff. Is that correct, Owen?
Yeah, and this is something about Rick that if you chat to him about, MLS teams and all of that, he knows a lot of these guys. He's got a lot of relationships with a lot of MLS teams. And the reason for that is because of his time down in Tucson when he was putting on all the preseason stuff. Rick was the guy who was sent out to like schmooze up with all these MLS coaches. And it means that he's built this really big contact book now. And there's a lot of guys there that he's, got a very good relationship with. And that does help him when he's bringing in loan deals. It definitely does. And he's mentioned it in the past. It's easier to just pick up the phone to a guy and say, look, I'm looking for something that kind of fits this kind of a bill. What have you got? Or do you know anyone else who might be available? I think it's interesting. Look, it's, if you want to get that question up, I know we've got a graphic for it, Edwin. This is the question now, which is, whose minutes are you going to steal, though? And I know you've kind of touched on this, Edwin. I think it's a really interesting question, because at this point, do you really want to tinker with the midfield? Which means, do you really want to move Kev? Which then gets into, so is it Farrell that you drop? And the answer is, I don't know. I think I can see him kind of playing in a more rotational kind of way than being just the guy. I can see a good number of bench appearances. I can see him coming in when they're playing, if they're going to play that kind of free centre-back system. I think that all of those things are reasons why, you could see him getting involved. And even just general rotation. I mean, a guy like Farrell, as Pat Moses there in the comments said, he's someone who has, played a lot of minutes these past couple of weeks. And just to be able to give him a break could be pretty big.
Yeah, no, I think he's well deserving of a break after playing all, if not most of the minutes since the start of the season. So it's interesting. I think this signing makes it a little bit harder for us and the fans to kind of see where Rick is going to go. And I think that's also a little bit of an advantage for Rick and his staff, where the teams themselves that they're going to face don't know who they're going to put out there. So I think it's going to be an advantage to them overall. I wish Manuel Madrid didn't lose those minutes, but I feel like he is. And if it's talking about the midfield, forget about Anguiano and Levin ever seeing the field. I feel like this guy's going to be taking those spots. So yeah, it's going to be rough for those guys. So hopefully they can find some minutes somehow or some way. So
yeah, and I think one other thing on that, in terms of just even talking about minutes, we should talk about James Musa, and we should talk about where he is. We did get an update from Rick today. Here's what he had to say.
he's feeling much better. We put him kind of on a strength program for his hips and for it's biomechanical, just to kind of help him, because we don't want to, again, we tried to take our time the first time, and then he had a reoccurrence, so we don't want to go through that again. And each time you have a reoccurring injury, it just doubles in length for recovery. So this one, if we really had to push him, we probably could get him out on the field in a week or two. But right now we don't feel like it's that necessary, because the team's playing really well.
So there you have it, Justin. The Moose is not loose. Not yet, at least. Not yet. They're keeping him under, trying to make sure that he stays fit first.
Kind of feel bad for Musa. He had a great game, the one game he's played, and then just injuries, man. Like that's it's another hip injury, right? Because that's the thing that
yeah.
So yeah, I feel bad.
It's tough.
You know a timetable for that? I know that they said it was going to be quite a while, but what are you feeling?
I think it's that kind of thing whereby it's, again, he said if they had to rush him back to be back within a week or in 2 weeks, then they could, but they don't feel the need to right now. So to me, it's, you still just gotta keep that, just be careful, because at the end of the day, do you need him for a game against LA Galaxy 2?
Yeah. No, not necessarily. So yeah, Musa, get your rest, come back 100%. And I know the team would appreciate him. All right, guys. So moving forward, so Saturday, Phoenix will be traveling up to Carson, not LA, to face off against Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2 has not lost since facing Rising on April 9th. They lost 3-1 to Rising here at Wild Horse Pass. They're 9th in the West currently, only 8 points. They beat Monterey Bay 3-1, which is, I don't know if that's saying a lot, but they also tied with El Paso in a game that they probably should have lost, but they got a little bit lucky in the penalty. So what do we expect against Galaxy? Do you expect some rotations? Do you expect maybe a little Santi appearance in the starting 11 once again? What are you guys feeling?
I thought for a second then you were going to ask what we were expecting out of LA Galaxy as a team, and I was just going to shrug, because these reserve teams are notoriously difficult to work out exactly what it is that they're going to do at any given moment. I think that we're likely to see probably more of the same from Rising, as they kind of came out against Galaxy 2 the last time, to the extent that they can. I think that Santi, from what Rick was saying today, is still kind of struggling a little bit with that ankle, so I don't necessarily know if you risk him with a full 90 at least. Maybe you put him on the bench. I think that you really don't want to risk, especially a player who can be that important to you. I don't know if you want to risk him as quickly as, pushing him back into starting this quickly. I think that there's more opportunities down the line. I think that we're also in a point whereby Claudio Repetto can start up top. That doesn't bother anybody. Greg Hurst should still be playing by far. I mean, just his performances have justified that. And then other guys like, if you want to put a Marcus Epps or a Joey Calistri out there, these are options that are there that mean that you don't necessarily have to force Santi into it, especially if, you're worried that he might re-injure something.
Yeah, of course. For this game, Rising, when they typically go up there to face Galaxy 2, they typically play in this track kind of stadium looking thing. So
I thought you were going to say trash, and I was going to say, you're not wrong.
That's you saying it, not me. But this time they'll actually be playing at the LA Galaxy Stadium. So you asked Rick today what his feelings were about that, and this is what he had to say.
What difference does it make for you then, playing in presumably the main stadium compared to the little track stadium?
A lot of differences. Mental environment. Sometimes in the main stadium without fans, there's really a lack of the air movement. It doesn't really move around a lot in there. The size of the field, the quality of the pitch. A team that really likes to play and knock it around, I think, can really benefit playing in there. For us, it's good because generally we're fairly athletic, and having a lot more room to run is good. But it also means you have to defend a lot more space. So I think it's going to be a big challenge for us, and we have to take into account all these different challenges.
Look, it's not just my words calling it a trash stadium. Rick has effectively said the same thing in the past. Because it's bad, right? He's walked up to me after the game before and just gone, the lighting here is terrible. Then there's I remember they came over because the changing rooms are over in the actual stadium. So they have to walk out across this little like road that goes between different parts of the car park and cross over that. And it's just, I mean, I remember Andre Rolls last year when he was coming over for his warm-ups, just said, "Oh, it's all right. I've already ordered the Uber back to the locker room." It's just a bad setup there. So the fact they're in the actual stadium is quite nice.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on not Saturday, Sunday. They're playing
Sunday this week. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun. So. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for all your opinions. Appreciate that, and thank you for the chat. You guys always great with the comments here. That's why I'm always like kind of snickering here. For example, with Michael, it'll be empty, so like a Chargers game a year ago. So, but yeah, always fun to read here. All right, y'all. Before moving forward, I do want to talk to you guys about OG's brands. If you guys haven't yet, you guys can stop by your local dispensary and grab some amazing scratch-made THC gummies from our friends at OG's. They just announced their new mini OGs, which is a 3 milligram microdose option for those not wanting to dive right into the regular 10 milligram option. And these will become available on May 3rd. They have amazing flavors like orange creamsicle, tropical, and watermelon. And if you're interested in trying the amazingly delicious variety of flavors that OG Brands has to offer, you can go to ogsbrands.com. That's OGEEZ brands.com to find an OG's near you. All right, y'all. Woo.
We still haven't gotten Ramon on him yet.
Not yet.
Perfect time. I'm at home. I'm chilling at the Suns game coming up. But Sean,
you know what? We need you. We need. You know what? I'm hearing that you're going to do it with our special guest present on Thursday.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, it'd be the perfect time.
It'd be the fantastic time.
I've talked about him. No, I can't.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
That's going badly.
Personally, I think we should do it. Have you doing that on Thursday?
Is he gonna do it too?
I mean, probably not. No,
we would get in trouble.
I don't want to know what Rick would think if he was doing that with us.
How was that
Thursday night? I would like to actually have more guests over the course of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it'll be funny if you were doing it.
Tries OGs on air. It's not fun, but Ramon and guests try OGs on air. That's a clip right there. That'll get you views. So
now we're talking.
There you go.
Well, to Jet's point there, I don't know what USL's drug policy is.
Yeah. So I mean, we might find out.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right, y'all. Let's talk about this week in the USL. Some great games. Like I said, we have some great games coming up tomorrow. We have Birmingham Legion against Charleston Battery, and then Memphis against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not impressing me. A lot of ties, a lot of middle-of-the-road performances, so I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, no.
And then I don't know if you guys have the schedule, but any of Saturday's games impress you? Rising and Galaxy 2 are the only teams playing on Sunday, so Saturday's when most of the games are going to be taking place.
Well, I'm gonna have a. I think it's time, especially on those Wednesday ones. I think we should talk about some odds.
Let's do it.
We should talk about some odds. So, yeah, DraftKings odds here. So, Memphis 901 plus 230 to win that game, or plus 240 on a draw. Although if you want the draw no bet, it's plus 130. Do you think Tampa goes to Memphis and wins?
I think they'll pull this one off. Like a 1-0.
You think they'll pull this one off?
Yeah,
you guys are backing him. Wow, I was gonna say don't back him because I'm really not convinced. The way that Neil Collins has got him playing at the moment isn't convincing me in the slightest. Now maybe he turns it around, but here's the thing: we were going with the alarm bells after 2 bad performances. They have won 1 game in 5.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's worse.
Yeah, their goal difference isn't that bad, which is 11 goals in favor and 5 against. But the fact that they keep drawing against these teams that they should be beating, that's a little bit concerning to me. That's the only reason I said that. But I think they should be able to pull it off tomorrow.
Yeah. And then the other game, Birmingham Legion against Charleston Battery. They're heavily favoring Birmingham Legion in this game. So you can actually get a plus 380 on Charleston.
Yeah, I'm back in Birmingham though.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's, you know what? If you think Charleston will win, there's a really good odds, but I don't think any of us think that Charleston will win that game. Especially not in Alabama.
No, I don't think so. Saturday, I think the game of the week is Louisville versus Pittsburgh. What do you guys think about that one?
Ooh. Oh, that could be an interesting game. That could be a very interesting game. Thinking about it, because again, Pittsburgh, Louisville, these are two teams that could well be playing in the Eastern Conference Final this year. Two teams that are at least going to be challenging for it. So I'm intrigued. It's always intriguing when you get those kind of games, and they are almost like a preview of what could be a late stage playoff match. So yeah, I'm excited to see that one.
And the 11's playing really well. They're going to be hosting Hartford Athletic. Tampa Bay will be playing twice in a week, hosting San Diego Loyal. I think the Loyal are kind of feeling the fact that their schedule has been really packed in the beginning month of the season, and I think they have some tired legs. So
All right, Landon.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying.
Look. You're not wrong, but at the end of the day, it's. You can look at it and say, oh, well, it's tough on them. They've got all these games in one spell. But the thing is, they're going to make up for that later on when they have more spaced out. They've got more rest. They have less midweek games. And at the end of the day, yeah, you're playing the same number of games in the season. They're also out of the cup now, which means they don't have that distraction. Whereas teams like Rising, Sacramento, San Antonio all do in the West, that is. And then obviously Detroit and Louisville in the East. So, look, at the end of the day, and this is the other thing, that fixture list a good chunk in advance. Make sure you've got the squad depth to deal with that. You don't go out and get the squad depth to deal with that, then I'm not really interested in hearing about it, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. RGV Toros will be hosting Orange County, the disappointing Orange County. Haven't been playing that well. And then you have San Antonio hosting Monterey. San Antonio, they're not winning by a lot, but and I don't know what's going on over there, but they're getting the results. So
but that's them. That's the team that they are. They're not a big attacking team. They're a kind of solid, organized team with enough talent that when they get a few chances, they bury one. And that's what they do. They score their goal. And then that's the thing. You struggle to break them down. It's hard to score goals or even any goals, really. I was going to say a lot of goals, but it's hard to score any goals against a team like that are quite organized. And when Jordan Farr is playing well, and so when you think about it that way, then they only need that one or two opportunities up at the other end, and maybe they're a boring team, but it's effective. It's effective football.
Yeah,
and you can tell that it's effective by where they are in the table.
San Antonio has not lost since Rising put 2 goals on them during their last meeting at the beginning of April. And then you have Oakland Roots against Colorado. I think Oakland's going to win that one. I feel it, man.
Ooh.
I feel it.
You're back in Oakland there. You're back in Oakland.
I don't want Oakland to take this one. I feel like they got what it takes against Colorado, but watch them lose 4-0. So a lot of great games over here. Edwin, any games here that kind of interest you?
For me, I think it'll be interesting to see the Rowdies and how they handle 2 games a week. What do they prioritize and how they respond? Because I think Rowdies are going to be a team that, they're one of the threats, obviously, from the East. And so I think moments like this is just going to tell a lot about the team and how they handle it, how they handle tired legs and all that. So for me, I think it's the accumulation of the Rowdies game. I don't think it's one pure Rowdies game, but I think it's the accumulation. And given the Loyal schedule, they've been so slowly falling off. I think that just adds intrigue. So at least for me, I think that one. And also Orange County, because for me, are they really going to be this bad this year? I know they went on a run later the year, and that's when they sparked it all, and then won the championship last year. But it just seems like they can't figure things out against a RGV Toros team that's in that 7 mid-packs team. So it could be if Orange County gets something on track, this could be one of the games.
I like Bobby's comment there. Surprised Landon hasn't tried to sign Alex Morgan. She'd be their best player. Yeah, I think they just opened a new team over there, San Diego Wave, if I'm correct, in the
Yes.
So that's pretty interesting. Let me put that up to you, because I think maybe I've seen a sign or a maybe I don't know if I remember correctly, but at the stadium at Wild Horse Pass of an MWSL team coming to Phoenix. Is that something?
It's the sign is just bring NWSL to Phoenix.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
it.
What are the chances of that?
No, I tend to believe no in the immediate. I think that USL Super League team is far more realistic in the immediate. I don't know what is going to happen on that front. We're going to have to see. It's interesting because USL Super League kind of fills in a gap, which is that there was up until now from next year, the actual gap between NWSL and literally anything else is enormous. There is no kind of legitimate second tier in this country because you had things like the WPSL, which you had one of the teams from here was playing at Tempe Sports Complex. And that's meant to be somewhat of one of the next levels down from NWSL. Well, that's a bit of a jump. USL Super League, I guess, is a league. The principle and what we've heard, and I'm not sure whether they're going to pull off as much as they say that they're going to pull off. But it'll be interesting to see how well it's implemented by USL and on what they can actually do with that and see if Phoenix can indeed get a team in there.
Yeah, no, I saw those. Well, I don't want to compare NWSL to the Spanish leagues or the Champions Leagues and the women's sides in Europe, but I saw that video of I think it was Barcelona, their women's team hosting, and it was like 98,000 people watching that game, and
91,000,
yeah. And so their men's team can't even get that amount of crowds at this time. So it's
okay.
It's amazing to see that, man. And I'm putting it in the context. It shows the amount of growth in the women's team, and I know Liga MX is doing that as well. Most, if not all, of the Liga MX teams also have a women's team, and they're playing in their league. And you can see it on the national team that they're improving as well. So definitely, I would love to see more of that. So good stuff right there.
Tough shot toward FC Barcelona, man. We're not letting you get away with that. Let's go, Man City.
Talk about
the boys. 4-3.
Man, that was a great game.
Fantastic game.
So, guys, before we wrap it up here, I do want to talk to you guys about DraftKings. So, the NBA playoffs are in full effect, and that means next level basketball. You guys can get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what. You can also place a same game parlay each day with 3 or more legs and get up to $25 back if one leg doesn't hit. That's a really good deal right there. So if you haven't yet, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PHNX. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. You do have to be 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Ooh. Big game.
Yeah, make sure to hop on there for USL bets. They're all on there. Those games are all on there
with Owain.
Find out how to lose money by listening to me and my picks.
You guys gotta listen to Michael. Yeah, Michael in the chat. He's always getting the right scores, always picking the right winners. So, or listen to Owain and lose some money. So. I'm just playing.
He's doing shots. He's taking shots. He's recent. He thought he could get away with FC Barcelona men's. Did not let him have it. He thinks Real Madrid can pull in 91,000.
It's interesting because I thought that in our Thursday show last week we showed that we can indeed remove Ramon when he's overstepped the mark.
Yeah, you guys are getting me cyber.
So, strike one.
I thought we'd established a precedent here that this could be done and we could.
No, you can't bully me into not
deal with the problem.
You see, Owen, I think he's gonna get that enough in 2 days. But so I'll let him have it today.
Well, Greg, that stuff I said, totally not true. Totally not true.
I like how it's just, yeah, guys, we're going to keep it subtle. We're not going to tell anyone who's coming on the show.
I didn't reveal
And in
it
the
first.
space of all of this, we have flat out revealed exactly who is coming on the show. So
we'll officially announce it sometime in the coming days. So
it might not be him. It might not.
Might
this
call
is
out.
all actually one big ruse. You know, you all thought that it's him. It's actually going to be James Musa.
It's gonna be Channing Chaston. Bring him in.
Oh, there we go.
One in the studio asking Owain why he didn't think he didn't have a great debut. So I want to see that one. I want to see that one. I'm not even going to be there. I'm just going to leave Owain and Channing.
Yeah, one-on-one.
It's fine. I spoke to Channing today, so I mean, it's you know.
I'll send them that clip. No, I was kidding. All right, yeah. So obviously, you guys know we're gonna have Scottish Sativa for Ramon. Oh my god. We're gonna have a guest in studio on Thursday, 6 p.m. So make sure to be there. Our last interview was with Santi Moore. It was a great time at the beginning of the season, and it was an awesome time there. So of course, we're gonna make the official announcement on our Twitter handle, which is PHNX__rising.
Double the underscores, double the fun.
And we want to double the questions that we got for Santi. So when you see the announcement, make sure to drop your comments, your questions on Twitter, so that way we can ask them in person, and you guys can see their reaction live on at the studio. So looking forward to that. Anything else, guys, that you guys want to talk about?
I think we should just shout out the fact that for those of you who also watch the Coyotes, there is a special PHNX trip happening on Friday for the final game up at Gila River Arena. So if you want to hop on the PHNXLocker.com, you can find the details there and purchase tickets if you want to join them. They'll have a bus running from downtown Phoenix up to the stadium, meet and greet with Josh Doan, and you get a t-shirt as well, I believe, and your ticket to the game included as well. So and food and drink, from what I gather as well. There's going to be food and drink too. So for anyone who is so inclined as to want to go and check that out, go ahead and do so.
Last game ever for Coyotes at Gila River Arena. So
before they make the move down to Tempe and start drawing average attendances lower than Rising's.
No.
Because the rink is smaller, just to be clear.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
The PHNX Express. So make sure to hop on that, get yourself a ticket, and have fun this Friday with the PHNX crew. Edwin, anything else, sir?
PHNX Mercury. They have another show at 7 p.m. So while you're watching the Suns game, pull it up. You can show us some love. We're not just doing it for the first show. We're going to show some love consistently. A great show, and great people on there. So make sure to show it love. And after you watch the Suns game, post game, live from Ainsworth. So a lot of PHNX content tonight. So you can continue the party.
Are they like? I don't think they're live from the Ainsworth today, but we'll.
I thought.
I think they are for away games.
Home games.
Away games. Yeah, it's a home game tonight.
Excuse me.
Take it on.
And don't forget as well. And don't forget as well, more PHNX plugs, because apparently that's all we've got at the moment. That on Thursday, apart from the time when you're watching us, we have a very secret, very special, unknown guest that you definitely don't know who it is, because you don't have any idea, guys, who exactly it could be. It could even be Justin, for all we know. It could be Justin Bieber. When you're not watching us with our special guest, you can also catch draft coverage for the NFL draft all afternoon into the evening with the PHNX Cardinals podcast. They will be at the Ainsworth. And if you want to head up there, they've got a special guest as well down there. If you want to head up and join them, you will be able to do so. They'll be at the Ainsworth on Thursday.
Exactly. So a lot of stuff at PHNX. We always try to keep you busy. And again, we want to appreciate you and let you know that we love the fact that you guys are here with us. If you guys aren't listening to us live, thank you for listening to us after the fact. We would love for you to be live with us, but if you can't, definitely understand that. But we appreciate you, Michael, Pat, everybody here on the chat. Thank you so much. And our next show will be on Thursday, 6 p.m. with a special guest. Mystery guest,
special mystery guest. It's going to be Ramon, but hi.
That's it.
On OGs.
I have a split screen like OGs.
Before and after.
The effects of OGs on a human body. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a great time. And then post game show on Sunday after the LA Galaxy 2 game. So a big week, and again, a lot of events here at PHNX. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next time. Be well and be safe. Take care.